Welcome to my blog.stampwithelaine.com and welcome to today's Fun Friday project. As you know, we're right in the middle of Sale-A-Bration, and in the brochure here on the front cover it says that there's a new special Sale-A-Bration item coming on the 16th of February. So today I'm going to be giving you a sneak peek. So this is what's going to be in the new release on the 16th of February. It's this lovely papers, the Blossom basket stamp set and basket weave dynamic textured embossing folder. Now that comes as a bundle if you purchase £90 or more of product. And there's another stamp set called Eclectic Expressions. For some reason, when they sent me my complimentary copy of the Sale-A-Bration brochure, they sent it to me in German. Luckily, the supplies list, I ordered the one in English. This is what we're going to be making today. It's a little box using the Lots to Love box framelit dies, Sale-A-Bration blossoming basket and basket weave dynamic texture embossing folder. To be economical with cutting the cardstock, I actually only cut as much as I needed for the frame rather than from half an A4 sheet. To make the box you need 2 full-size panels, so the cardstock to cut the full-size panel measures 4.5 by 6 3/4. In metric that's 11.4 centimeters by 17.1 centimeters. All this is in smoky slate. Then to cut the 2 narrower sides so that you don't need the flaps, you need 2 without flaps. I only cut enough for the top of the lid and just a little bit of the side, and then you can fine-tune trimming along the score lines. So these 2 measures 2 3/4 inches by 6 3/4 inches, so that's 7 centimeters by 17.1 centimeters. You need 4 pieces for embossing with on top of the darker shade, and this is also in smoky slate, and those are 2 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches, so that's 7 centimeters by 6.35 centimeters. For the matte layers here you need 4 pieces in the basic grey, and these measure 2 3/4 inches by 3 inches, that's 7 centimeters by 7.6 centimeters. For the lid to emboss with, these are also in basic grey. You need 4 of those, and these are 1 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. That's 4.4 by 9.5 centimeters. Don't worry about the measurements. I'll put them on my blog post, so there will be a link, and if you hop over to my blog, all the measurements will be there. You also need a scrap of Whisper White cardstock so you can stamp your basket, and I've mounted the basket on an E-block. I've used Tuxedo Memento black ink and stamping blends. These are the Old Olive combo pack, Soft Sky, sorry it's not Soft Sky, Pool Party light, Bermuda Bay dark, and the Daffodil Delight combo, and a wink of Stella, the smoky slate combo pack. You need your Big Shot and the smoky slate gingham ribbon. First you need to die cut your box sides. Now I did things in reverse this time, and I put the base cutting plate on, but I put the die face up, with the cutting edge face up, so I could see where my cardstock was going, and I could make sure that the whole of the die is covered. And then top cutting plate, and I'm ready to run it through the Big Shot. For the narrower ones, I did the same. I made sure that the top was covered and that these 2 sides were covered, but without the flaps. So I'll do that off camera as well, and I'll be back. I also need to die cut the lid flaps, so I'll do that with the basic grey, and this is how I'll place it on my die, this way. Top cutting plate, and I'll run 4 of those off as well. So there are my 4 box sides, 2 with a narrow panel, and see how little waste there is. So I need to trim that down. Next I want to score my box, so I'm going to use the second score line from the lid edge here and align it at 3 1/4 inches. Actually, it might help if I cut the tabs off. You don't need those tabs at the top. So I'm going to line that edge at the 3 1/4 inch mark and score. Larger full-size sides to the box. I'm going to cut off the rectangle here at the bottom. Do the same for the second panel. Burnish the score lines. I've put double-sided tape on the side tabs on these 2 full panels, and I'm just going to trim off the excess here, just to make it a little bit neater. Now it's time to assemble the box. So make sure these are buttered up together and aligned properly. Put Tombow glue on the back and adhere it to the box panel. Put adhesive on the bottom. Set that aside, and now we can do the lid. So we need to trim those down, and I will fast forward this as well. Next we want to do the embossing. You don't need the thin die adapter, and you only need 1 embossing plate, because this is a thick dynamic embossing folder. See where that score line is? So you want to have that overhanging the edge of your basket weave textured embossing folder, and you go and place the top cutting plate on top, run it through the big shot, and you need to do it repeat that for the remaining 3 pieces. For the sides, you can emboss 2 pieces at a time, so you can place it in your embossing folder like that. Shut the lid. Shut the embossing folder. Top cutting plate and run it through the big shot. So I'll do that off camera. So there are my embossed pieces. I'll just zoom back out. So I'm ready to assemble that. I've already put double-sided tape on the back. So now we're going to have to adhere it to the box front. Remove the backing tape from these layers. Flip it over and then remove the backing tape from this last tab and pop that on top. Now you're ready to seal the bottom, so upend it and leave it on your surface like that, upside down. And the sides with the double-sided tape, you remove that first and make sure it's straight. Remove these pieces. And you want the side with the tape down first, so you pop that down. Remove the tape and then that one on top last. Next you want to adhere your flaps, so Tombow glue on the flap here, but I've put double-sided tape because that seems to secure it better. To stamp my basket, I've used Tuxedo Memento black ink. Then I use these colours to paint my basket. So I've done one earlier to save time on the video. So that's been done in the dark and light shades of Smoky Slate Stampin' Blends. The petals were done in Daffodil Delight, and the centre of the flower was done in the light Bermuda Black Bay. The leaves were done in Old Olive combo pack with the dark and the light, and then I went over the outside of the basket and outlines with Pool Party light. So next I want to tie my bow, and this looks nicer as the front of the box because that folds back. So I'm just going to take a length of gingham ribbon, make sure it's all flat. Make a loop, tie a bow and adjust it. Don't want the bow too big. Get my ribbon scissors and just trim off the ends. That's a pretty bow. And then all I did was just thread the ribbon through like this and do the rest of the four corners. So I'll do that off camera so that you don't need to watch me doing it. That's all my bows done. And I'll just pop a couple of dimensionals on the lid to make sure it stays down. And then choose the side that is folded back for the front, and you only need to put dimensionals on the bottom half because there's already dimensionals on the lid. And just a bit of Tombow glue on the top here, and pop that on. Pop a little bit of Cake Soiree shreddies in the box, and it's all ready for some Easter eggs. I hope you've enjoyed today's sneak peek. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe or share on Facebook, and my grateful thanks if you do. If you're watching from YouTube, you'll find a list of supplies I use below this video in the Show More section with direct links to my online store. They'll also be listed on my blog here at blog.stampwithelaine.com. I'll put all the measurements I used for the various bits and pieces on my blog. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram. Now don't forget, this bundle is not going to be available until the 16th of February, and that's one of the new choices you can have if you spend £90 or more. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye!